to have not had to face drug addiction, prostitution, homelessness, you know, all those things I've never had to experience for myself. And playing a character like Suzanne, my biggest thing was, you know, these are real people, and I wanted to portray that character as realistically as possible, which is very hard to do when you've never had any of those experiences. So that was hard for me in terms of I wanted it to be not my idea of what I think of people who are in those situations, but actually, you know, through working with Teen Challenge, through meeting so many people that had been in that situation, it was a case of really finding out from them what it felt like, why, you know, that was, not just my take on it. So that was my biggest thing, I think. It was just a completely different life to anything that I've experienced. So that was, I'd say, the hardest thing, I think.
You mentioned Teen Challenge, and I know you did a lot of research with the Glasgow City Mission to get into the truth to characters and working with people who experience these issues. There's often a criticism that's levelled against filmmakers of not quite getting the balance right between exploitation and research. How did you manage to find that balance, and do you think you managed to get it?
Glasgow City Mission were amazing. I was so aware of that. I thought, I don't want to be the circus, pulling people's personal lives and then putting it in a film for my own personal use, but they were amazing. The people there were amazing, and a lot of the people from Glasgow City Mission are actually in the film. They're there, and just a lot of humanity, and all the actors met these people, and we were together, and we were all together trying to make this film. So it didn't feel like, oh right, we're the media, we're just going to suck your stories and disappear. It felt as all together, because we were a pure film company as well. There was a real kind of connection there, and there still is. We're still in contact. All the actors can say for Emma and everyone that went along, it just gave you humility and humanity, and you suddenly realise, what am I moaning about? What am I?
The biggest thing that helped me a lot actually was speaking to the people from Teen Challenge. There was a couple of women especially who are Christians, and just telling me what their life was like and what they did, and they did that. That was a matter of fact. That was part of their life, and you know, were quite happy to, you know, to tell me about that. And I completely just didn't feel it was an issue. You know, like obviously I kind of went through that process, but that, I think the fact that the film was about what it was, and I think you just take everything on its own. You know, I don't think you can whitewash everything and say, right, you can do this, you can't do this, you know.
I did want to make a comment, because yes, it was a big film, like the gentleman said at the back, but I thought what surprised me that there was actually quite a lot of love in the film, and you know, it's obvious thing to say that it was a horrible film and how bad it is for these people, and how a lot of us don't have a connection with that world. But one of you, I don't know if it was, I think the lady in the middle said that the film tried to close the gap for us to imagine how it is. And I was surprised by the love in the film. And I'm not really talking about Suzanne and Connor, but also just how people did try to care for each other. And I was really touched by that, because you kind of don't expect love there, and there was love there.
That was like the massive thing that we really wanted to put across, is that, you know, these people, just because they're in whatever situation they're in, they're still human. And I think love is, you know, everybody has love, but love kind of, it's cliche, but makes the world go round type thing. And you know, the biggest thing I found being with these people in Teen Challenge and being in the Soup Kitchen, the mission, is that they had such a love for each other. They, you know, they were hilarious. They knew how to look after each other. You know, you go on that bus and they, even though they had so little, they completely loved and cared for all the people around them as well. And for me, that was really important to learn that, and also for that to come across in the film as well, because yeah, it was just amazing to see these people with nothing, and yet they kind of had the biggest compassion and the biggest amount of love, which I thought was just amazing.
Ion, you're very upfront about your Christian faith and the support that you have from your church. What would you say would have been the most difficult thing for you in this film in particular?
In general, working as an actor, obviously, and being a Christian is slightly harder in that you're going to be faced with things a lot of the time. I don't know, particularly for Wasted. I mean, I always completely 100% really passionately agreed with everything that we're doing, and I think obviously initially the love scenes, I thought, right, okay. I just think there's a lot of stereotypes as what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And I did have a bit of a like on the phone to my best friend going, I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But the biggest thing for me is at the end of the day, I'm accountable to God. I've got my relationship with Him. And also just the way that everything was done, like I knew Caroline's heart behind this film. And I was never questioning ever why we're doing this. You know, it's to glamour, you know, to make this glamorous. For me, you know, it was about relaying what the truth was.